Hi everyone, and welcome to Truth Over News. Preparations for the October trial of Igor Danchenko, Christopher Steele's fake dossier source, are starting to take shape, with special counsel John Durham having just asked a federal court to issue 30 subpoenas. It is not known who the subpoenas are for, but the fact that they're being requested means that the trial will likely go ahead and that there won't be any last-minute deals. As we previously reported, Danchenko's situation seemed bleak, as Durham had him dead to rights on a number of lies which Danchenko told the FBI. But the recent acquittal of Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussmann, also for lying to the FBI, may have given Danchenko a lifeline. Durham has let a long list of deadlines for charging FBI officials pass without taking any action. And Durham's strategy in the Sussmann case to paint the FBI as a victim backfired very badly. If he does it again, Danchenko may well go scot-free. The alternative is to put the FBI itself on trial, but is Durham willing to do that? Michael Sussmann's defense team successfully argued that even if Sussmann had lied to the FBI, it didn't make a difference because the FBI already made up their minds to target Trump, irrespective of what Sussmann told them. It was a bold strategy, and Sussmann was acquitted in less than 2 hours. While Sussmann had the benefit of a Washington, D.C. jury, whereas Danchenko will face a jury in Virginia, Sussmann's strategy may still prove to be the winning formula for Danchenko's team. Danchenko, who is the so-called primary subsource for Steele's phony dossier, is accused of having lied to the FBI about his own sources. In particular, he is supposed to have lied about his contacts with Clinton operative Charles Dolan, who allegedly fed Danchenko stories for the dossier. Danchenko also lied about his contacts with the businessman Sergei Milyan, whom Danchenko claimed to have met 3 times but never actually met. These lies are well documented, and Danchenko told them on several occasions. It should not be too difficult to convince a jury that Danchenko did indeed lie. This is where the Sussmann strategy comes in. Sussmann lied to the FBI in his own text message to the FBI's general counsel, but he was acquitted anyway. This provides Danchenko with a perfect defense strategy. We know that when Danchenko was first interviewed by the FBI on January 24, 2017, he disavowed the dossier, telling the FBI that the stories about Trump were just gossip, rumors, and bar talk made in jest. But instead of immediately dismissing the dossier as the garbage that it is, the FBI doubled down, telling both the Department of Justice and Congress that the dossier was very much real. This gives Danchenko a perfect opening for his trial. Imagine an FBI witness on the stand trying to reconcile what Danchenko said in his January 2017 interview, namely that the dossier was bar talk, with what the FBI later told the Justice Department and Congress, that the dossier was legitimate. We don't have to imagine, of course, because that is pretty much what happened at the Sussmann trial. Durham's entire trial strategy was premised on the FBI being a victim. But what actually happened at the trial was that FBI agents took the stand to testify that even though Sussmann's info was rubbish, FBI leadership had already decided to forge ahead and pursue Trump regardless. Danchenko will likely copy that playbook. Tell the jury that the FBI wasn't duped and that it didn't matter what Danchenko said because the FBI was going after Trump anyway. The only way that Durham can prevent that from happening is by coming clean about FBI leadership. He would need to tell the jury that the 7th floor of the FBI headquarters was totally corrupt and lied to everyone, including the courts, Congress, and the Department of Justice. Durham would then need to explain that 2 wrongs don't make a right. Just because FBI leadership was corrupt doesn't mean that Danchenko had license to lie to investigators. And this brings us to the bigger issue. Why hasn't Durham charged anyone in FBI leadership? This is truly a very puzzling question. We have known for some time, and especially since the Sussmann trial, that there is a compelling conspiracy case against the upper echelons of the FBI. Contrary to Durham's narrative, the FBI was not a victim. Perhaps rank-and-file agents were, but FBI leadership engaged in a massive fraud on the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance, or FISA court, on their own superiors at the Department of Justice, on Congress, on the President of the United States, and ultimately on the American people. After Danchenko admitted to the FBI in January of 2017 that the Steele dossier was essentially garbage, FBI leadership buried that information. They wanted to renew a warrant to spy on Trump advisor Carter Page. And they also wanted to swindle Justice Department officials to allow them to continue their investigation of a sitting president. As we previously reported on this show, the conspiracy kicked off in earnest after Trump had tweeted on March 4th, 2017 that he had been spied on by the Obama administration. That panicked FBI leadership, who did not know how much Trump knew of their fraudulent investigation into him and his campaign. As a first step, FBI leadership, in the form of Deputy Director Andy McCabe and Counter-Espionage Chief Peter Strzok, briefed their Justice Department superiors on March 6, 2017. That was the Monday morning after Trump's Saturday tweet. Instead of coming clean about Danchenko and the fake dossier, FBI leadership lied to justice officials, making it look like they had a strong collusion case against Trump and his campaign. They even trumped up Steele's phony stories as Crown reporting, as if it had something to do with official UK government intelligence. That was followed on March 20th with FBI Director James Comey going before Congress and telling the country that he had been given permission by the Justice Department to report that the FBI was investigating the Trump campaign for Russia collusion. What Comey didn't say was that the FBI's leadership, including himself, McCabe, Strzok, and Strzok's secret lover, FBI lawyer Lisa Page, who had drafted Comey's notes, had all lied in order to get permission from the Justice Department for something completely unprecedented, announcing the existence of an ongoing counterintelligence investigation involving the President of the United States. Had they told their superiors at the Justice Department the truth, that Danchenko had disavowed the dossier and that all investigative leads had come up empty, not only would there have been no permission, they would have been forced to shut down their phony investigation altogether. And the FISA court would have also shut it down, but Comey never told them about Danchenko's reversal.